Bloomin' Onion, Blohm Voss. Hello all, this is David from Sunward Hobbies. For today's video, sadly, we're not reviewing the delicious Outback dish. Today we are unboxing Revell's Hulk of a kit. It's 1/72nd scale Blohm Voss BV222. The BV222 was a heavy German transport in World War II, and this kit was part of Revell's glory years in the early 2000s. I myself own this kit, and I am very eager to show you its contents, excluding myself. I must say that was a cozy box. Alright, so you've heard me talk with rose-tinted glasses a lot about Revell in the early 2000s. They made lots of very nice, particularly German subjects in this era, and this is indeed one of them. Blohm Voss, they were a German aircraft manufacturer focusing mainly on marine-based aircraft such as flying boats. And this one was particularly huge. In fact, one of the largest aircraft of World War II. It was nicknamed the Wiking, or Viking in German, seen as though it operated mostly in the North Sea around the Scandinavian countries. So I'm going to first take a quick look at the sprues, and then I'll show you the instructions as well as the decals. So can't wait to get into this one. First sprue we got is the huge fuselage halves. And I'd like to remind you this is 1/72 scale. Now I'm just going off the top of my head, but from what I remember, I believe this plane in real life was about 150 feet long. That is not small. And the surface detail, it's got good panel lines, not too many rivets, but you can always make your own. They've got options to have two large cargo doors open or closed. And these holes in the wing, we'll get to that later. Net sprues are the wings and the clear parts. We'll start with these first. So you've got your main canopy, lots and lots of windows, as well as turrets. Some of them got a little flash on them, so the kit is starting to show its age. But I still love it. And then here we've got our equally massive wings. These are the bottom halves, and these big openings here are for the wing floats, which were retractable. So you again have the option to have them up or down. Now on the top half, you'll notice these particular holes on the top of each wing. I kid you not, this plane was so huge that it had defensive gun turrets in the wings. So referring to that hole in the wing spar earlier, two unfortunate crewmen would have to crawl in there all the way along the wing to get inside these turrets. And they probably did have a little escape hatch in the turret in case the plane was shot down and they had to get out in a hurry, but if they didn't, they were basically dead. Now this sprue looks to mainly be everything for the SITS engines on this aircraft. So all the nacelle walls, which you can also position open or closed, SITS propellers, SITS radial engines. Now we've got our last bag here, which has 3 very big sprues on it. There are some loose pieces here. So whoever buys this kit, I did not do this. The kit just came like this. There's your evidence. On this sprue here, we've got the very, very long one-piece floor for the upper deck, which had the cockpit and the navigator station, flight engineer's desk. And this one here is the bottom half, which was the cargo hold. And on top of that, you've also got several bulkheads, some with navigation instruments, doors, seats, access ladders. I find these rudder pedals particularly nice. I mean, I tell you, Revell had it right in the early 2000s. And if you are a stickler for detail, have fun adding spark plugs and wires into all 6 of those engines. And then our last sprue here is essentially the nose of the fuselage split in 2 halves. Some more bulkheads. The wells for the wing floats, the wing floats themselves, the elevator, and the floor for the nose section. Now here is the decal sheet, folded in this pamphlet of useless information. The sheet is kind of small considering the size of the aircraft, but that's all they needed. This kit comes with 2 marking options, one for a Mediterranean variant as well as a captured variant. I'm not a fan of captured variants, but I mean, I would have preferred maybe a North Sea version as well, but it was Revell's call. One fact I'd like to share before I move on is that there was a planned successor to this aircraft called the BV238, which was an even bigger version of this, if you can fathom that. And it actually was built, one lone template, but before it can even make its maiden flight, it was strafed by Mustangs, and that was the end of that. So let's just quickly go over the instructions here. I'm sure by now you get the gist of how Revell likes to lay things out with their paint callouts and stuff and the parts maps. So you're going to start in the nose section. Just build that all up quickly. And then you actually put the instrument panels for the cockpit in the nose section. Then you start inserting all those windows and portholes. Add some defensive guns in the fuselage. Same thing on the other end. And then you start working on the cargo hold with several bulkheads to give it some stability, and then the flight deck goes on top. And then you start in the cockpit, seats, navigation tables and equipment, neat little crew ladder that goes from each hold. And then that all fits into the fuselage. Some more gun turrets. Nose goes onto the fuselage. Here you have your option of the open or close cargo doors. Elevator slips into the rudder. The gun turrets for the wings. Very strange. And then your wing floats fit into the bottom halves of each wing. Then you start working on those 6 engines. If you're not too concerned with detail or scratch building, then it's not too bad. And of course you can display the engines if you want to. And then the wings slip into the fuselage. And then you're basically adding on radar antenna loops, control surfaces. The canopy then slips on. And then here are your marking options. As I alluded to, this one flew in the Mediterranean Sea. It has the usual maritime camouflage of RLM 70 and 71 on top. And I think it's 65 on the bottom, as well as yellow tips on the wings and rings around the engines. And then you've got the captured version. Again, not really a fan. Okay, I need to know. Light blue matte or hell blow. Yeah, I believe that's 65. It could be 76. I don't know. Look it up. In conclusion, love that Revell brought this kit back. It is a great hidden gem for aircraft enthusiasts. It's not filled to the brim with detail, but it's got just enough to satisfy most scale modelers. And considering how huge it is, the price is quite reasonable. So, if you've got the space, you can pick one up for yourself at Sunward Hobbies, in-store or online. Thank you very much for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow us on our socials, and until the next one, adios.